Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 161. And obviously in this one, we will be discussing that Manchester City game midweek. And then obviously we'll be getting into our thoughts on the game tomorrow, which, if I'm being honest personally, I'm not really confident for. After hearing all our injuries, it is an absolute madness. But obviously we'll get into that very shortly. But yeah, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, well, good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, other than hearing the injury news today, which is just not great. But yeah, obviously, let's get into it. So, obviously, we took on Man City midweek. Obviously, when the draw was announced, it's not, a team we want, of course, the holders, treble winners, you name it. Best team in the world as it stands, and it just weren't great. It just weren't great, obviously, going into it. We both expected a loss. It is Man City at the end of the day, but not in that manner. Obviously, you said 3-2, Dad. I mean, you got how many goals we would score, right? Obviously, I said 3-1, and it obviously was 3-1 at one stage and 3-2. But yeah, just not, not great at times. Obviously, the lineup was Krul in goal as expected. Obviously, the cup keeper, Burke, Menji, and Bell. Chio on the right, Doughty on the left, Clark and Barkley, which was interesting. Obviously through the championship, we have seen Clark play, in that centre mid role a few times. And then obviously it was Morris, Chong, and Woodrow. And then as for the bench, it was Berry, Hashioka. Good to finally see him, involved in the squad. Johnson, who I actually called to start. Ruddock, Nelson, Osho, Paisold, who again is another youngster, Shea and Townsend. So that was that. Upon that, so like I say, a few, rotational, moments that you'd expect. Obviously Krul, that's the obvious one. And then the likes of probably Woodrow, probably expected him. Certain people expect him starting this game. But at some points, I was surprised how strong it was, especially like Doughty, for example. He come off injured in the last game he started. It was a bit interesting to me, but yeah, what did you make of the lineup, Dad?
Yeah, pretty much. Clark starting in midfield is not too much of a surprise. We did expect Ruddock, but Clark started there. We knew Krul was going to be in goal. Maybe Hashioka starting, but obviously he come on in the end. So yeah, pretty much as expected.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the first half, I guess the first talking point is their goal. Obviously, De Bruyne played it into Haaland. The link up between these two in this game was just ridiculous. And it goes back to what I was saying, even games before this, you can tell De Bruyne has missed in this Manchester City team as much as, I think Rodri is a massive part of, their team. Obviously, I discussed it in the previous game building up to it in the sense of, their winning record when he's in the team. I think De Bruyne, picking them balls out to Haaland, you weren't really seeing that a lot. Obviously, when De Bruyne was out injured. And you saw it a lot in this game. Obviously, the first goal, to be fair, I think the first goal was just their quality, just showed really. Obviously, De Bruyne got the ball out wide, played it across from the left-hand side to Haaland. And to be fair, out of the goals we did concede, that's probably the one where I'm like, oh, fair enough. The only thing I was a bit annoyed about is how quickly it was. It was quite early on in the game, but that one was a moment of quality for me. So it was a bit difficult, that one, to really pick out, a mistake really from that or, costly error or something like that. But what did you make of the first goal, Dad, they got?
Yeah, it was quality. Clark's unlucky he slipped.
Yeah.
And, De Bruyne and Haaland, their combination. They haven't really done it up until that point, since they've both come back from injury. And yeah, they're two world-class players at the end of the day. So very difficult to stop. And it's frustrating. He's like a fucking machine, that guy, So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously they got the second goal. Now I was a bit more frustrated with this goal, because Menji, I thought he had a pretty average game, if I'm being honest, at best. There was a few things he done defensively that were okay, but then there was stuff like holding on, making it obvious that it's a foul. It's very frustrating. The second goal, yes, Haaland is a quality player. We all know this, but I think the way Haaland got in behind him was a bit too easy. And then obviously De Bruyne picked out the pass, saw it 2-0 just like that. And Krul obviously appealing for offside. Obviously, he done that twice in this game. I mean, the first time I get it, he kept doing it, and I'm not going to lie, it did seem a bit beggy at times. Like he didn't have the greatest of games. Like yes, he made some saves that prevented it from more, but then there was goals that he should have saved for me, especially the last two. Which obviously we'll get into. But yeah, again, frustrating 2-0 when you're thinking, bloody hell, it's another one of them first half performances that's going to cost us. Like you could say the Man United game, definitely like the Chelsea game for me. That's how I felt at that moment. But yeah, 2-0, Dad. What was you thinking at that point? And what did you make of the goal?
Well, Menji was quite tight with him, and I think at times he was too tight. But he's still young. He's 20. He's trying to prove himself. And it's a lesson learned at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And, the quality, again, Haaland was turn and run before De Bruyne even made the pass. That's how, he just knew it was going to come to him, and then he chased down Kroos. He hasn't played a lot of games. Got a foot to it, but, yeah, again, real quality. And that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah. Then obviously Krul did make a double save. Like I said, he made some good saves in this that prevented it from more. But at the same time, I thought the last two goals were very avoidable. This one, obviously it was double save. De Bruyne's shot, was a decent shot to be fair, good save. And obviously it come out to Haaland. That was for Haaland's standards, that weren't great, but you couldn't really complain, if you're a Man City fan, because he's got 2 goals. You know what I mean? He's got 2 goals. A lot of people did want to start him in this game. Obviously, Big Steve said he did as well for that, confidence going into the derby, obviously getting that sharpness as well. So you couldn't really complain in that end. And then obviously they did make it 3-0. Morris quite sloppy in possession. I thought he'd step up a bit, since Elijah's been out, and become that aerial presence like we know he can be, especially when even though I knew we were going to lose, but like Anfield away, I thought he would probably get our goal. Him or Barkley. Barkley because of the story type thing. Obviously being a Scouser, that type of thing, or just Morris. Because I thought he'd just step up. His second top goal scorer, but in the third goal, obviously, he's quite sloppy in possession. Give it away, and then again, De Bruyne forward into Haaland, 3-0, just like that. Just like that. And again, a very similar goal, I felt, in patches to the second goal, in the sense of, the way it's just a ball forward, through ball, great vision by De Bruyne. Obviously, he's very good at that. He can just pick out that pass and, he can be in, especially when you've got a player like Haaland on the end. But 3-0 down. What do you think of that third goal, Dad?
Yeah, very similar. It is what it is. Like, we was getting exposed. Like they could see that we was just playing like that sweeper sort of system. And this time running back, it was Johnson who had just come on. Couldn't really stayed with Haaland, but he's just too powerful. And again, Krul, maybe if Kaminsky was goal, maybe but Kaminsky's on form. He's been playing for us all season. But at the end of the day, he's a world class player, and he's a fucking beast, isn't it? So 3-0. I called the hat trick, and it happened.
Yeah, I was going to say that when I obviously got onto that. Yeah, fair play. He obviously did. Big Steve said he'd love that, and obviously you did predict that. And then obviously we had a bit of moment of magic. Jordan Clark, what a goal that was. What a goal that was. Obviously I said on the watch along, I'll take a 3-1 loss against Man City and we get the best goal. Great goal. Obviously that's his first goal since Wembley. And yeah, what a goal that was. When it comes to the FA Cup, that might even be up there, for the winner of the best goal in the whole competition this season. So yeah, really happy for him. He's deserved it. Obviously, he's up there, especially in my lifetime when it comes to conversation for, best free transfers that we've done. So yeah, obviously a lot of them can show that this year and all, like obviously Barkley, etc. But Jordan Clark's up there, man. You know, obviously he got that goal in the playoff final, as we all know, in the 90 minutes. And yeah, I'm so happy that he's finally scored because he has come close a few times. Obviously, the game, I can't remember who it was, but where it was slightly offside, you know, he has got close. So I'm glad that he's, you know, got him. And obviously, he did score another one in this game, but obviously, I'll get into that in a bit. But Dad, Jordan Clark, what a strike.
Yeah, stunning goal. You know, we know he's capable of that. This is probably one of his sort of best performances so far this season. And he was the one who brought it forward, you know, running forward, normally like what Barkley does. I think he's really like been looking at Barkley and thinking, well, I can do certain things that he can, and he has been, especially in this game. And you know, he slipped again, got a little bit, he needs to sort his studs out, I swear. But anyway, he got up, Barkley played it back to him and he banged it in like 25, 28 yards or whatever it was, top corner. No one was stopping that. And sometimes you need that from a player to go, right, all right, we'll show you then, you know, what we're capable of or what I'm capable of. And it was really, really, really good. And yeah, it's definitely probably one of the best goals so far in the tournament. And we'll see if if there is any better. But, you know, that kind of quality, I'm really pleased for him. And I think he should be starting the next game. You know, he missed the first part of the season and he's coming on really well. Great goal. Like world class goal. That's a world class goal. I think, you know, they were going on about this world class passes and that in the commentary and that. But come on, man. That was a stunning goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What a strike that was. And then obviously we go into the half, you know, 3-1, we got the goal, you know, obviously, and we're thinking, not me necessarily, because I know, you know, our first half performances have cost us, you know, and it is Man City, they can pick out that bit. But, you know, maybe it's thinking, you know, a bit more belief that it could be a closer game, you know, and then obviously we did get a goal going into the second half again. Now, I really like this pass from Barkley. You know, that was a quality pass, you know, the way he's dinked it over, you know, well, not even over, sorry, through the two Man City players, John Stones, I can't remember who the other one was. And then great touch, you know, with his chest from Clark, and then a lovely finish, another very good finish. And yeah, you know, he got brace. You know, it was brilliant. So fair play to him. But at that moment, Dad, was you thinking we might come back, or was you thinking, you know, like the first half games we've had that have cost us? Was you sort of thinking that?
It was like De Bruyne and Haaland were just on fire, you know. But again, you know, they made a mistake and we capitalised on it like properly. That was a lovely goal, lovely finish, great interplay, and you know he's been asked to play with Barkley, and yeah, he might not be as good defensively, but attacking wise, they're working pretty well together already. Like, and it was a great finish. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, you know, certain fans had a bit of belief, and then obviously Man City shut that down. Again, another very similar goal to their first goal, I'd say, but obviously this was on the right hand side this time. And it all started from Kyle Walker. I'm not going to lie, that was a very, very good pass outside of the boot, pass into De Bruyne, who then obviously played it across to Haaland. 4-2, just like that. And again, it's one of them where their quality is just showing. And from that moment on, even though, you know, because me personally, seeing our first half games, how they've cost us at times, you know, them first half performances, shall I say, you know, like the Chelsea one, like the Man United one, I sort of felt, you know, conceding them goals early, you know, like you said as well, that De Bruyne and Haaland on form, I sort of felt they were still going to go on and win the game, you know, and obviously they've got another one, and that definitely shut up shop for me, you know, especially for the people that maybe thought we could do it, you know, but yeah, another moment of quality from Man City, wasn't it, on that fourth goal they scored?
yeah, like we sometimes, you know, although we've gone from like defending to balanced and then to like attacking, you know, whenever, and I think we need to go back a little bit on the defensive stuff. And we are missing Lockyer. We're mismatched at the back, and it shows, you know, when that ball's played through, which you got Burt running back, and that's it. Menji, there's no one else anticipating it, and yeah, they're quality, but You know, they're not scoring like that against teams every single week, are they? So yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then obviously they did make it 5-2. And like I say, last two goals for me, as much as Krul done saves that prevented it from being even more, the last two were very avoidable, for me, for him to save, especially the fifth one. And that really frustrated me because, obviously Haaland already had 4 goals as it is. And it does worry me. If he's getting 5 goals against us in this game, we still got to go to the Etihad. Do you know what I mean? Let's try and not be getting no flipping Premier League record, which is 9-0, by the way, if no one knows. So hopefully let's not try and get that. But yeah, very frustrating because it was a very avoidable goal as well for me. He's got to be doing better there. Very similar goal, actually, for me, to the goal he conceded against Everton when we obviously won that 2-1. Even, commentators, even though I don't always agree with what they say, they were saying in that game he should have really saved that. And to be honest, this one I felt he should have as well. I don't know, what is it? Is he too confident? Is he doesn't play as much anymore? Like, what is it? How is he not saving these shots? Because he can be a top shot stopper.
I think it's just sharpness, isn't it? He's not sharp. He hasn't played enough games. As simple as that. That's all it is. He got a leg to it, but he should have saved it, definitely. And it was similar in certain ways to the Everton goal. Not as bad, but it's still, he should have saved it.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously Barkley was quite unlucky on this moment. Obviously Morris had a shot, keeper saved it. It's frustrating with Morris because I know he can do better in them positions. He has had them sort of opportunities a few times this season, and then it maybe took a bit too much longer. The keeper saved it, and then obviously Barkley got it. That was a very good save. I'm not going to lie. I did think Ortega was a little bit suspect at times. There was 2 or 3 times in the first half where he's kicked it out and they went across the ground. That was the reason we actually got this second goal. It all started from him doing that, and I felt, let's try and capitalise on that. Even City fans were telling me, they're not overly confident with him in goal. And it sort of showed in the game, at moments. But that was a good save he made. Probably the best thing he done all game. And it was a really good save. I thought Ross Barkley was very unlucky on that moment, if I'm being honest. And then obviously, we had that moment, didn't quite score, and then Man City scored. Kovacic. I said he would score, didn't I? Obviously, I just had a feeling. Again, very avoidable goal for me. Krul should have saved it. I don't really know what his positioning was on that goal either, if I'm being totally honest. A player of that experience, I just don't know what he was doing there, to be honest. And yeah, that was the moment where I was like, right, let's just end it now. Like, please just blow the whistle now. I was saying that away at Anfield, and I was saying that in this game, because yes, they are quality sides, but I just felt, the last 2 were very avoidable goals. But is what it is. What did you make of the Barkley shot, Dad, and the 6th goal?
Yeah, the Barkley shot was close. He's worked hard. We know he's got that quality. Kovacic, Krul's moaning, allowed him to get the shot and that, but you was pretty far off your line as well, mate. So that's probably, like I say, that's more likely, bar injury to Kaminsky. That's probably his last game this season for us, definitely. Anyway.
Yeah,
and it's just rustiness for him. I think if he gets into a side consistently, then he's probably going to be all right. But it is a little bit frustrating. And that's why you can see sometimes that Arteta plays the keepers more, switches them around more. I can get why he does that now, But other people saying, well, other keepers have stepped in. Look at Kelleher, for Liverpool. So it's age as well. I don't know. Too comfortable. It is Man City, but let's just forget it.
Yeah, well, still got to do the ratings, which is going to be pretty interesting. But obviously, we'll get straight into that now. We'll just get it out of the way. You know what I mean? It's just one of them people. Krul, like I say, he did make some good saves, but again, like I say, them 2 last goals for me, very avoidable. a player of his experience should be doing better for me. Fitness, or sorry, not fitness, sharpness or not. So for me, I'm going with an average 6.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a 6. Exactly the same reasons.
Yeah, literally. And I can already tell, right? I'm going to be giving a lot of players just an average. I'm not going to lie. Burke, I didn't really see him in the game. I'll be honest. And what I have noticed, and you said it to me, Dad, privately, is the centre backs have been very spaced out from each other, and that's how you can tell we are missing someone like Lockyer as well. So obviously, captain, he's very commanding, as we know, and he's usually very good with the back line, as we've seen, and also because we've had to chop and change numerous amount of times. I don't think that helps either. But you can see they're very not near each other. And teams are finding this space to get in behind. A lot of times, and it is worrying. Yes, it is Man City, but even other games, I do worry tomorrow, because I don't know what the back line's going to be. Obviously, we'll get into injury news and that in a bit. And, Ollie Watkins, he's on fire. He's on fire, and they've got very good players out wide as well, as we know. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, Burke, I didn't really see him in the game, if I'm being honest. So I'm going quite low with Burke. I'm going 5.5.
Yeah, he was quite anonymous. Yeah, he's good at going forward in that, but when you're not able to go forward, then you need to be relied upon defensively, and he won't. I just didn't really see him making these blocks and getting near players or anything, So yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through some comments. Big up to Stephen. He says, big up Client Dazza. Big up to yourself, mate. Jackie's gone cruel 5.5. And she's also gone with the same as that for Berg as well. And then moving on to Menji, like I say, there was good, there was decent moments. Obviously, his marking was okay at times, but the second goal, it weren't great. He was a bit too tight on Haaland sometimes. But he wasn't, it wasn't as bad as like a Burke, for example. I just didn't see Burke in the game. I did see Menji in the game at times, and it's just one of them. It's just one of them. For Menji, again, I'm just going to go with an average 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 at times, and I think that's what we've been playing like a little bit for quite a few games. It's just like we're going forward so much more and relying on certain stuff that has been helping us, but against Man City, it's not going to work, man. That was a big lesson learned, I think, there. And Menji was like the only defender at times. No wonder he gets frustrated. Come on. So yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Jackie's gone with the same. Big up to Waste. He says, big up lads, I was at the game the other night. City just had too much. Yeah. I actually messaged Big Steve after and I just said, GG. I do that with any fans, win, lose, draw, whatever. And I just said, I think I said, too good for us or something like that. Obviously, I was a bit fuming at the time as well. But yeah, it was like that, mate. It was, yes, it's Man City. We knew we were going to lose, but I just think some of the goals we conceded in that game, especially the last two and the second one, and they're all avoidable for me. The others, sort of fair enough, it's just quality and that. But second, fifth, and sixth, I thought we could have done a bit better. But yeah, that is that. Moving on to Bell. It's a difficult one with Bell when it comes to this game because obviously it has come out as well today that it's, Rob Edwards sort of letting him decide if he's going to be available for tomorrow. He's a bit on and off, apparently. So hopefully, because I'm looking at our options as it is, Johnson has come out, he's been ill, so he hasn't been at the last 3 training sessions or something like that. So he's not even going to be available. Highly unlikely. So for me, I'm hoping Bell's in there. Osho's not even going to be in this game, so that's why I worry. I thought maybe Osho would be the one who'd score in this game for us. I'm not going to lie, but obviously he's not going to be available. So hopefully Bell is, but I can't really rate too much in this game. Like I say, come off injured, so I'll just go over 6.
Yeah, same.
Literally, same reasons.
We had this a little bit before with Bell, you know what I mean? So, and then we played him, and then he got proper injured. So I think we should rest him, in my opinion. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, it's just difficult. It's difficult what we do if he is available. For me, I don't know. I mean, I've heard Hashioka can play anywhere across the back three as well, Rob Edwards has said today. So you might even see that instead of the right wing back role. You know, we will see. We'll see. But yeah, that is that on the whole back three, including the keeper. Moving on to the wing backs. Chio, I didn't really see him in this game. You know, I didn't really see him. You know, we know he's good at taking on that man. And, you know, last couple of games, well, the Liverpool game, yes, but the Man United game, I didn't really see it. And now this game, I haven't really seen it, you know, from him. And it is a bit disappointing, you know, because we know he's good at that and we're just not seeing it. So, Chio, man, I'm going 5.5.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but I think a lot of that as well. We weren't really spraying passes out to him that much and things like that. You know, when we're confident and we're on it, then he will see a lot of the ball. But when we're not, it's similar to Morris as well in that respect. You know, but sometimes these players need to sort of come back and get involved. I think he tried a little bit. I won't be as harsh. I'll give him a 6.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's sick. That's sick now. Fair play to him for that. Bell 5.5 says Jackie. Chio's also gone with a 6 as well. Menji, she said a 6 as well. And then moving on we'll go over to Doughty on the other side. I'll be honest, I don't think he should have started, like I said, you know, like we said, building up to it, especially the injury. You know, you don't want it to get to the stage with Bell where he's playing too much. Bell got that injury against Burnley, I think it was, at home originally. And, you know, I'm not going to be too harsh on Doughty because, like I said, I didn't really want him to play this game. So for me, I'm just going to go with an average 6.
I'll give him 6.5. I thought he was involved more than some other players, and you know he's trying it, but he was getting frustrated. Bless him. But you know he's always willing to start and play, and no doubt he'll probably start tomorrow. But yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, he probably will for sure. And then moving on to the midfield, we'll start off with Barkley. Like I say, really nice assist. There was a few times he gave it away, and you're like, wow, you know, for his standards, you wouldn't really expect that. But I still felt, you know, he was okay in the game. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. You know, he got really good assists, like I said. But hopefully he learns from Jordan Clark. That is how you score a banger. Obviously, Barkley hasn't quite done that yet. We thought he would. You know, hopefully, you know, it's still low, you know, 13 odd games or 13 games to do it. So hopefully he does, because we did say it. You know, he has got close against Newcastle at home, but other than that, they ain't been great, you know, and it's come to his shooting boots. So yeah, but he was okay. He was okay. I'll go 6.5 for Barkley.
Decent, got 2 assists. You know, and that we haven't had that combination before, Barkley and Clark, and it did actually work. You know, it was against Man City. Against our other teams, that could have been, you know, pretty decent, and we'll see. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jackie's gone with as well. Doughty 6 as well, she said. And then moving on to Clark, he is my man of the match. First vote he's got from us this season. And yeah, 2 goals, you know, really well taken goals. And, you know, he was in that centre mid, that more sort of defensive bit. And I thought he was really good. You know, I thought he was really good, especially against Man City. And yeah, like you said, Dad, I'll definitely be starting him in the next game. You know, you could have a little flicker around as much we have got injuries. You know, you can have a flick around it in the sense of, do you put him back there again alongside Barkley, or do you maybe put him a bit higher? You know, it's all decisions there, but definitely would be starting him for me. So for me, man of the match, like I say, 2 really well taken goals. And, you know, like you said, on the first goal as well, he slipped, he was unlucky. He did try and get back and help defensively at times as well, to be fair to him, and he's better at attacking. So for me, I'm going to go high for Clark. I'm going to go with 9.
9. I won't give him quite that much, but he is my man of the match. I'll give him an 8. You know, a lot of that's based on that goal. The second goal really well taken as well, and you know maybe he's good at coming from that position. You know, who knows? And then it'll be up to certain other players to fill in and do the defensive work and stuff. But yeah, I'll give him an 8, man of the match.
Yeah. Definitely man of the match. Yeah, Jackie told me the same as me. She's gone with 9 as well. Star man. Yeah, for sure. And then moving on to like the front three. We'll start off with Chong. I think he was okay. He was trying to make things happen. But me personally, I just feel he's better as that impact player. You know, you've seen it. I don't want to keep naming the names. I do it every single time the game, so I'm not going to go through it again. I just feel he's better as an impact player. You know, he's still trying to make things happen, but he's not quite. You know, in these games he started, you back him to probably all right. He did against Bolton, but other than that, I don't really. He hasn't, has he? You know, scored from when he started. So I just feel let's put him on the bench, and use him as that impact player. Maybe we won't tomorrow because obviously you look at the defensive injuries. You probably might see Chio back at right wing back again, but I just feel let's do that. Let's do that. But he was okay. He was okay. He weren't awful. So I'm gonna go have 6.5 for Chong.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. He has been getting better, but in this game, it's probably the wrong game for him because he had been improving in the last couple of games. I probably do expect him to start tomorrow, but yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jackie's gone with 7 for Chong. Yeah, he is. He is obviously my favourite Luton player as well, Clark. Yeah, like I say, he definitely, in my lifetime up there for free transfers. Like I say, Ross Barkley can easily top that, but I just feel Clark, got the goal in the playoff final. The guy deserved the respect for sure. And then moving on we'll go to Morris. Like I said, I thought he'd proper step up, when Elijah's been out. He hasn't really yet. Like I say, I thought he'd be massive in that Liverpool game. He just ain't really been seen in these games. I mean, he had that shot, didn't he? But again, for his standards, I think he should be doing a bit better there. Personally, he's still their goal scorers. He's still second top goal scorer. So, there, I just want to see him get a bit more. Hopefully, tomorrow we get a penalty or something because we know he's very good at them. Obviously, he hasn't missed yet. So hopefully, that will give him a lot of confidence. You've seen in previous games this season when he has got a penalty scored from it. It's given him a lot of confidence. So you never know. Hopefully, it could be something like that. But yeah, just not really involved to what he can be for me in this game. So for me, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go with average 6.
I'll give him 6. So I think the problem is that he works better with Elijah, and that's when he started. Both of them started getting their goals more than that, and I think that is the problem. And until Elijah's back, unless we change things up front or whatever, I don't know, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult. I'll give him 6.
Yeah, definitely 6.8 for Morris as Jackie, and then moving on to Woodrow. Maybe I've expected him to start this game. I can't remember if I predicted it, but he's obviously mainly the rotational strike. Obviously, especially if Elijah was in. But again, I didn't really see him in this game. Weren't really involved. These are the sort of games. Yes, it's Man City, but what I mean is the cup games. It's a good chance for him to step up. Obviously the FA Cup last game. Obviously he scored a winner. Yes, it was against Everton, different team, but like I say, it's a good opportunity for him. In these type of games, but I didn't really see him. If I'm being honest, so I'll go with 5.
5.5. Yeah, obviously, I think he was diving. He's like I said before in previous shows. Like for me, he's becoming that Danny Horton character a little bit. And you don't really need that in the Premier League. Maybe he has found his level, kind of thing. I think if he's starting for a team consistently, especially in the Championship, he'd probably do all right. But you can see the frustration in him, and he's not a game changer. Like when Morris got dropped or like Elijah got dropped, they come back and they make things happen. He's not doing that. Yeah, he scored against Everton, but at the end of the day, like it's like 2 yards out. It was good for him to be there and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, no, especially with where Rob Edwards has said he's the best finisher at the club. Even the players have said it. He's just not showing that, is he? Really? Let's be honest.
I'd say Clark is from what I've
yeah, scoring a goal like that for sure. He's teaching
goal at Wembley
how you do it at this moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'd probably agree. Even his goal in the playoff final, very good goal, wasn't it? Roof of the net. So Agree with that, to be honest. Woodrow 5. Big up to Wolf. It's been a while since seen you in the chat, mate. Big up to yourself. I hope you're well. But yeah, man, that's that. And then moving on to the subs, obviously made 4 out of a possible 5. Obviously, the first one was Johnson. I called for him to start. Honestly, I would have started him tomorrow as well if he was available, but it's looking very unlikely. Like I say, he's been ill, so he hasn't attended the last couple of training sessions. It's gutting because I thought he was really good, actually. He was up there for man of match for me. Obviously, come on in the first half, 39th minute, and yeah, really composed, which I know he can be. You have seen that in the early glimpses, especially against Everton. He just done the basics and, he looked really good. But this game, I thought, especially against Man City, done really well. A few times on that left-hand side, trying to, cross the ball in, have opportunities, for us. So, yeah, I thought he was really good in this game. I was really impressed with Johnson, actually. So, for me, Johnson, I'm going to go over 7.
Yeah, 100% 7. Like, he looked really composed, didn't panic. He's young, right? What is he, 17?
So, I think he's the same age as me.
It's not, FA Cup debut.
2 years younger.
But he was really good, and you can tell that he's got a bright future ahead of him. And we want to definitely be keeping hold of him, 100%. And I do feel like if he wasn't ill, he probably would be starting tomorrow because he looked really, really good. And it was good to see, He had plenty of the ball. He was confident with it. It was really good to see. He's definitely going to be getting us starting next season. We'll keep hold of him, definitely, but it could be quite a key play for us, I think. He looked quality. Really pleased that we've got him. 7.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And obviously he was involved towards the end of last season as well, as we know. Obviously that game against Middlesbrough come on, had a bit of a spell. So yeah, I definitely agree. Out of the youngsters, he's definitely the one that's, the one that's gelled in the most with the team. And then I'd say shortly behind is probably Nelson, isn't it? To be honest, been on the bench a few times. So yeah, big up to Johnson. Really, really calm and composed performance. Considering it's against Man City as well. Like I say, Jackie says Johnson great 7.5. Yep, no, that's fair enough. 100%. Really, really good up there. Man of the match, like I say. And then moving on to Townsend. Obviously, come on for Woodrow. I mean, he got on the ball a few times, tried to make things happen. Obviously at that stage it was 4-2. When he come on. So I know he can do a bit better though. So for me, I'm probably just going to go with a 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I mean, I'm not too sure why I've been benching him a lot recently, but must be fitness levels or whatever. But he has got the quality and that. I'll give him a 6. Be interesting to see where if he's going to start tomorrow. I don't think he will, but it's still good to have his experience on the bench.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've been wondering why he hasn't started in certain games, especially like Anfield, for example. That is the game I would have started him in, but who knows? And then moving on to Hashioka, good to finally see him involved. I've wanted to see it for weeks. Since the game after the Newcastle game is when I wanted to at least see him involved within the squad. But it's good to finally see it. Come on, done the basics. He was up against Boku, which could be a bit of a difficult battle. And I think he done okay at times, to be honest. Simple passes forward. Looked pretty good. And it seems like, especially the injuries, like I say, he will be involved tomorrow. Be interesting to see where he's involved. Because like I say, he could play the right wing back. Then Rob Edwards come out today and said he could play anywhere across that back line. So depending on the Bell situation as well, you might even see him in, anywhere in that centre back role. So for me, Hashioka, pretty good start to life at Luton for me. So I'm going to go for 7.
I'll give it a 6.5. I thought he was decent. I think he was getting a bit of lessons there. He was getting pushed off the ball a few times and that, strength wise, but he's just learning that. That's fine. It's against Man City as well. He was always willing to run forward and that, and he only come on for a little bit. And yeah, he definitely probably will be starting tomorrow, and we'll see more of what he's made of, definitely. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the last one, Pelly Ruddock. Obviously, come on for Clark. I didn't really see too much. I mean, he tried to clear it at one point. I think he did, but I'm just gonna go with a standard 6.
Yeah, 6. Coming on like against Man City. I don't know if he played in the previous game against Man City. I think he might have done actually. But just doing the basics, and he did. So 6.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There you go. They are the player ratings. Obviously, best player for us is definitely Jordan Clark. Brace. Obviously, his first goals since Wembley. Good to see that he's got off the mark, in that sense, and could be massive. Could be massive. And we did say at the start of the season he could be massive. At games where he was out, he was missing his creative spark. And you see him what he done the other night against Man City as well. So, we will see. We'll see. Be interesting to see where he does play in the next game, obviously tomorrow. But yeah, Jackie says Daki thought he done well. 7, yeah, no, for me he did as well. Pelly 5.5, that's fair enough. And then yeah, summaries on the Man City game. Jackie also said earlier, hi does. I didn't think we was horrendous. We knew we was going to lose. Jordan was great, really happy for him. Yep, obviously, like we say, very good. And yeah, obviously we knew we were going to lose. Predicted it. Me personally, I'm just a bit worried if we concede in 5 at home with Haaland, just one player, still will go to the Etihad. You know what I mean? Let's just not be trying to get no Premier League record. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Yep, Ducky was good. So yeah, that is that. And then moving on to that game tomorrow. Obviously, we are at home again, as we all know, and we're taking on Aston Villa. Now, last time out, I got the score prediction right. I can't remember if you did, Dad. Obviously, I said 3-1. That's when they were at home. They were very good. They were very, good at home. And they have been for most of the season. To beat Arsenal and Man City at home back to back. But I just felt, at that time they were going to beat us. They were going to beat us. They were doing very well. As for now, they're still doing decent. They're still in the top 4. And recent weeks they have, gone to places like Fulham and won 2-1. Ollie Watkins, he's on fire. Obviously, everyone's talking about Solanke. I don't think Watkins is far behind, or they might even be joined now on the top goal scorers. So, obviously, Douglas Luiz, as we know as well, very, very good player. But yeah, obviously, they're taking us on, obviously, at Kenilworth Road. I mean, historically, we do have a good record against Aston Villa, and we've actually beaten them more times than they've beaten us, which is interesting to see. Obviously, league positions, I'd say they're 4th. Even if they won, they would still be in 4th place because there is a bit of a gap. And even if they lost and Tottenham won, they'd still be 4th. So they're sort of chilling, really, at the moment. As for us, obviously, we are now 4 points behind Forest, obviously, since Everton got points back. Obviously, if we win, then we're 1 point behind Forest. And Forest got a very difficult game. I mean, they do it again. They're very good against Liverpool at home anyway. But different season for me. Liverpool obviously on the hunt for everything, so that's going to be interesting. So I guess if he's looking at it like that, it is maybe a good chance. Good opportunity for us. But just the injuries is what I worry about, to be honest, and the lack of options we have in this game. But yeah, a bit of insight. In all competitions, Luton Town have won 9 of their last 11 home games against Aston Villa, drawing 1, losing 1, including their last 3 in a row. However, this is their first such meeting since 2016 in the League Cup, 3-1, and first in the league since April 1992, which was a 2-0 victory. After their 3-1 win at Villa Park in October, Villa could record a league double over Luton Town for only a second time in their history, after previously doing so in 1989-90. Aston Villa have won 7 of their last 8 Premier League games against promoted sides, drawing 1, winning both away games in this run by an aggregate score of 8-1. Luton have lost 5 of their last 7 Premier League home games, winning 2, including the last 2 in a row. And they last lost 3 consecutively at home in April 2016 in League 2, while they did so in the top flight in March 1989. Aston Villa won back-to-back Premier League away games for the first time this season, beating Sheffield United 5-0 and Fulham 2-1. They last won 3 in a row in Unai Emery's first 3 away games in charge between November and January last season. Yeah, just quickly on that Fulham game. Obviously, I was in London that time, Leighton Orient versus Burton Albion, and I remember the Villa fans, they were buzzing. They're buzzing, absolutely buzzing, chanting Ollie Watkins and all that. But yeah, that is that. When it comes to that, as for a bit more on it, from more so, what Rob Edwards has said, opposition stuff like we always do. Where's it gone? I actually uploaded it fairly early today, people. I think I uploaded it around about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So yeah, there we go with that. Rob Edwards' side were knocked out of the FA Cup, as we know. Unai Emery's Villa have strengthened their place in the top four with back-to-back wins following a home defeat to Manchester United last month. And also, by the way, if you are going to this game, there will be a tribute to Chris Nicholl. Period of applause will start and end on the referee's whistle prior to kickoff as well. Obviously, I'll be doing a watch-along, so I'll obviously join in with that. A bit more on Villa. Villa have won back-to-back Premier League away games, like I said. With 14 goals and 10 assists, no player has been involved in more Premier League goals this season than Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Watkins has scored once and assisted 4 goals in his last 2 games against promoted sides. Villa have scored more first-half goals than any other side in the Premier League this season. Only Man City have been leading at half-time more often than the Villains. So it's going to be interesting. Team news for us, like I say, it's not looking good. It even says here, first thing it says, the injury list continues to grow for the Hatters, as Gabo shows the latest player to be ruled out. Amari Bell was replaced during the first half against Man City, as we know, and will be given as much time as possible to recover. But I've also heard, it's sort of, his decision, does he want to risk it sort of thing? That's what I've heard. So we'll see what goes on. Bell's replacement on the night, Johnson, will not be in contention as well, as I said. Been ill for the last 3 days without training. So, yeah, that's that. Kabore obviously can be involved in the squad. So that's another player that, that's in for a shout, given the injuries. Dan Potts has been injured again. Now, I do feel a little bit sorry for the guy. He hasn't even been able to play. He's been on the bench and he hasn't even come on at times. Now he's got another injury. It is frustrating, but at the same time, I do feel a bit sorry for him. And then obviously, Lockie is out, Nakamba. The Nakamba one might be for a very long time. It's potentially the whole season, which is not great. Jacob Brown and Anderson, all obviously injured and out as well. And yeah, like I said, last time we met at the Kenny, we were in League Two. We beat Championship Aston Villa in the first round of the League Cup, August 2016. Jordan Ayew, our opener, was cancelled out by the home side with goals from Jake Gray, Cameron McGeehan, and an own goal from Jules Okere, I think so you say his name. And in officials, will be Michael Oliver. And 97 yellow cards and 4 red cards have been handed out by Oliver across his 22 games this season. We last had a game ran by Oliver when we were promoted to the Premier League after obviously beating Coventry. So that's interesting. VAR's Peter Banks. So we'll see how that goes. But that's everything on that. But yeah, Dad, it's not looking great injury-wise going into this game, is it?
No, it's not. But we have to step up. The players that come in have to step up. It's as simple as that. And I did say to you, the injuries could derail our season. They're coming at the wrong time, etc. So they've really got to step up, and we're going to have to see what happens. We have got a good record against them. We're a bit of a bogey team. That's in our favour. So we've got to get back to we've got to find that balance as well between defending and attacking as well. We can't be defending like we did against Man City with Ollie Watkins in the form. Is it simple as that? So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, 2 of the games, to be honest, more so the ones after this, are against teams in and around us. Palace away, and obviously Bournemouth, that reschedule game. I mean, Bournemouth obviously a bit higher up there, but it's sort of like certain teams, like teams in like lower leagues where they're all right, but if they lose a few, then they're sort of in it. That's sort of how it is with Bournemouth. So yeah, we need to get something out of them next 2 more. So this one, of course, as well, we need to try and get something. But just worry about this one more so because of the injuries for me, like I say. So yeah, that's that. Lewis is in the chat. Big up to yourself. Big up to Chris as well. He says, big up, lads. Hope you're well. Do put in your score predictions and your lineup predictions. Obviously, we'll shortly get into lineup predictions. So yeah, we'll do that now. We'll do that now. So lineup, like I say, it's been difficult for me doing this because, like I say, we've got a lot of players out. You know, like I said, and it's just not ideal. It's just not ideal at all. But yeah, my lineup, what I would go with. Let me just share my screen. So obviously in goal, I'm obviously going to go with Kaminsky, Premier League goalkeeper, of course, as we know. Back three. Now, for me in this one, I am going to go with, like I say, it's difficult because of the lack of options. But for me, I'm going to go Burke on the right side. Hopefully, he's more seen in this game. I'm going to go Burke. In the middle, I'm going to go Menji. And I'm going to hope that Bell's available. I'm going to hope that he is. Otherwise, you know, I would have put Johnson in, but obviously he's not available. So I hope that Bell, you know, decides that he can play because we're screwed otherwise. We're screwed, you know. Yes, Hashioka can play around the back three apparently, but I haven't seen it. You know, so I'm basing it on what I do know. And Bell's 50-50, whereas, you know, Johnson's most likely out. So I'll go with Bell on that left side. Obviously, the wing backs, it's going to be Doughty on that left. The lack of options, it can't really be anyone else as it is. And then that is where I'm going to put Hashioka on that right side. And then the CDMs, Barkley, obviously. Oh, there you go. And it's going to be interesting. And a few people might not agree with this, but I'm gonna go with me. I'm gonna go Roddick in this position because he can do a bit of both. And then the three higher up, I'm gonna go Clark on the left side. I'm gonna play Clark higher. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's alongside Barkley again because it did work fairly well, you know, considering it was against Man City. And then on the right side, I'm gonna go Chio. I want to see Chio higher. You know, it could be one where Morris might benefit being alongside Chio. You know what I mean? Because we know Chio's good at making them forward runs, playing them balls forward, you know, and I just want to see more of that from him. You know, more of that. And ideally, you know, he wants to play more attacking, you know, but obviously he's willing to do a job, you know, wherever he's asked to do a job, because that's just how he is. And then Morris up front, obviously. So yeah, that's my lineup. So Kaminsky in goal. Back three of Bell, Menji, Burke. Obviously, if Bell isn't there, then you probably go Hashioka. But like I say, I'm just basing it on what I know. Barkley and Ruddock as the CDMs. Doughty on the left, Hashioka on the right, and then Clark on the left side, Chio on the right, Morris up front. So that's my lineup when it comes to this game. Your lineup, Dad? There you go.
So yeah, obviously Kaminsky in goal. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Yeah, it's not allowing me to scroll for some reason.
Go through Jackie's comment quickly. I'll be very happy with a draw. Barkley, that's the record score. Fair enough. Yeah, hopefully, you know, that he does get on the mark. It'd be nice. Obviously, he has got a few goals, but I just want to see him score that banger. You know, he said he would do it, so hopefully, you know, that happens at some point soon. This could be, you know, it could be massive for him. This game, we shall see. Oh, there you go, Dad. It's working now.
So obviously Kaminsky in goal. I'm going to put Hashioka in Bell's position. I think Rob Edwards has kind of hinted at that. You might see Menji there, Hashioka in the middle, or across the back, like you say, but I'm going to put him there. I'm going to stick with Barkley and Clark in the midfield. Chio where he was, Doughty on the left. Still keeping with Chong for me. And I think that Woodrow, Frost or Morris, they'll interchange or whatever the position they're going to be putting. You might see Townsend. I do like your setup, but yeah, I just think it's going to be like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, let's go through prediction time, Dad. Like I say, the injuries, it's not great. You know, if we had Elijah, if we had Lokonga, me personally, I'll be a lot more confident. You know, because as much as Villa are, you know, not terrible away. No, I think they're in the top 5. But still, you know, I think it's a game where we could have got something out. But with them injuries, man, I'm not confident. I'll be honest. But how do you feel about this one, Dad? Score wise?
Well, I think we've got to step up. I think it won't be as easy as everyone, all these pundits and that are making out. We are a bit of a bogey team to them. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like a 1-1 draw. That'd be nice. And I would be more confident for a draw, you know, if we had them players. But yeah, my score prediction, like I say, I'm feeling too confident, you know, with the injuries, like I say. You know, if we had Elijah, who we know can be that set piece threat, I'd be more confident, you know, obviously from crosses and that type of thing. Defensive injuries are not great. You know, I don't even know what our back three is actually going to be. You know, I'm just going with what Arda went with. But yeah, it's probably going to be like one more player that you know we put in that lineup that's not going to be available because that's just our luck at the moment. You know, that's just our luck. But for me, score prediction, I'm going to go with Villa win. Unfortunately, I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I think they'll edge it because of these injuries. Like I say, they're not awful away. I believe they're in the top 5, but I just feel if we have them players, you know, available, maybe a 2-2 draw, something like that, goals. But don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. But we shall see. Goal scorers, Dad.
I'm going to go with Barkley.
Barkley, yeah, nice, same as Jackie. I'll do Villa's goal scorers as well because I know you know most of their players. For us, I'm going to go. I would love to say Osho, but it's not available. So for me, I'm going to go with. You know what? I've got a feeling Menji's going to score a similar goal to what he did against Palace. No, you know, from that set piece, I'm going to go with him. And then for Villa, I think it's pretty obvious. Ollie Watkins brace is what I'm going with for them. But yeah, do get in your goal scorers as well. Obviously, predictions as it is. Way says Luton will do well tomorrow versus Villa. I can see a Luton win. Jeez, I love that, mate. 2-1, hard game to call in my opinion. Yeah, it is. Honestly, I've done my Premier League predictions earlier. Obviously, I'll release them after this. And this was the one game because obviously it's, you know, my team. I was sort of waiting on the news to see, you know, if we had certain players back, like I say, Elijah, Lokonga, them two mainly for me, I'd have been confident of a draw. But yeah, I think they might edge it, unfortunately. But draw would be brilliant. You know, draw would be brilliant. I'll take it with the circumstances, to be honest. Villa, you know, they're top 4 side at the moment. So I'll take it. You know, very good manager, Unai Emery, rated him very highly, you know. So we shall see. Paul, not very confident. It's gone 3-1 Villa. I'm not going to lie. I nearly was going to say that myself. But yeah, fair enough. Lewis says 3-1 Villa as well. Although Unai has said Paul in his plans, however, he's unsure about him at the moment. Do you mean Longley pissing Chambers? Don't think we have any defensive. Yeah, obviously Longley, he hasn't really lived up to it. You know, I know a lot of Villa fans have said that. Chambers, yeah, he ain't great. I remember when he was rumoured with us, I was like, no thanks. No thanks. So we shall see. And then Jackie obviously said she will be happy with a draw. And then other score predictions and goal scorers. Lewis has gone Watkins 2, Bailey and Chio. Yeah, hopefully Chio, hopefully. You know, that would be nice. That'd be nice. Away the lads, big up to yourself, Geordie. Going to be an interesting game, your game tomorrow, I'll tell you that. Against Wolves at home. I mean, Wolves are doing pretty well, to be honest. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, there we go. Oh, he's changed it. He's changed it to Burke. And he says we strike from corners. I mean, hopefully we can capitalise on that then. You know, and that's what I think we will score from anyway, a set piece. But it's just numerous, isn't it? Me, every time we get a set piece, I'm like, come on, let's capitalise, because that's one of our strongest points attacking, if not our main strongest point. So hopefully we see that, but we shall see. But Dad, any final things you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Just roll with the punches and see what happens. You know, we have got to step up a little bit defensively. So let's see. It'd be interesting to see how we set up and what we do tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Given the injuries, like we say. But yeah, obviously, I will be doing a watch along to this tomorrow. So obviously, do tune in. And as it stands, the next watch along after that is Arsenal. Which, again, I'm not really looking forward to that as well, obviously, at the Emirates. But obviously, always supporting the boys. And then, obviously, Vlog from Homes will be coming back. Hopefully, we'll be doing one to the game after in that massive game, the bottom, or near the bottom of the table. So you take on Palace away. It's going to be interesting. And then obviously we've got Bournemouth as well. That's a midweek game. So obviously that's the reschedule one. So we'll see for that one. But yeah, that is that. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. Smash a like if you haven't already. It'd be much appreciated. Obviously, I know a lot of people watch this back on playback as well. So obviously do smash a like there. Obviously, subscribers. Gained another subscriber the other day in the watch along as well. So big up, getting closer to that 1,900 mark. And a few new subscribers on T-Boys TV Extra as well. We're one subscriber away from 130. So you can subscribe to that if you haven't already. That'd be much appreciated. Obviously, links to that is in the description. Along with my other socials, make sure you do follow me on there as well. And yeah, that is that really. So until tomorrow, I'll see you for the watch along. Hopefully, it's not a long day again or long afternoon / night. We'll see it's a 5:30 game. And then as for a reaction, obviously, like I say, we don't play till next Saturday now. So might do a reaction on like Monday and then obviously do a preview on Friday to that game against Crystal Palace away. So big up yourselves, guys. And until next time, take care and peace.